Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everyone doing on this beautiful Saturday? I know you didn't expect to see my face, but I am here. God woke me up just a little bit earlier, and I don't even have to be at work. I got a little bit before I have to hit the highway. And so he laid up on me to just read what today's devotional would have been. And I said, well, Lord, I do have time. So I'm going to just share today's devotional. And it's for whoever have an ear to hear and a heart to receive. No judgment, just examine yourself. Not pointing the finger, just acknowledge your faults, your shortcomings. And the title, if you didn't see, is Keep the Judgment Door Closed. Keep the judgment door closed. Because when you open that judgment door for someone, you're also opening that judgment door for yourself. You say, well, Yolanda, how in the world is that possible? If you stick around long enough, you'll find out. Keep the judgment off you. Keep it closed. And the reference scripture can be found in Matthew 7, 1 and 2, Matthew 7, 1 and 2. And it reads as follows. Do not judge, or you too will be judged. For in the same way you judge others, you will be judged. So whatever you judging me on, that's the same scale that you're going to be, that's the same scale that's going to be used to judge you. And with the measure you use, whatever tool, whatever you use to judge me, whoever you use to help judge me, you're going to be judged the same way. It will be measured to you. It's going to come right back to you. And I'm going to read this out of my study Bible. And then I'm going to get to the body of that. Jesus tells us to examine our own motives and conduct instead of judging others. The traits that bother us in others are often the habits we dislike in ourselves. Our untamed bad habits and behavior patterns are the very ones that we most want to change in others. Do you find it easy to magnify others' faults while excusing your own? If you are ready to criticize someone, check to see if you deserve the same criticism. Judge yourself first. Start with you first. Before you getting ready to say that someone will never amount to anything, see where you at. Before you decide to say they'll never go nowhere, see how far you've went. And then lovingly forgive and help your neighbor. Whatever you see that's faulting in someone else, if you can help them, help them. If you don't think that they'll never go nowhere, give them transportation so they can go. If you think that they'll never amount to anything, speak life into them and tell them that they can and they will. What are you doing to help the situation? What are you doing to turn the situation? What are you doing? And here's the read, and I'm out of here. Most of us know that thinking critically about others and being judgmental is not kind of loving. It's not kind or loving. But we do understand that it actually harms us and makes us vulnerable to the enemy. I believe that's what Matthew 7, 1 and 6 teaches. This passage simply instructs us not to judge or criticize others. This certainly applies to our words. and to our thoughts as well. He ain't leaving that out. You may not be speaking it, but are you thinking it? Are you turning it over in your head? When you see that person come, are you saying, look at that, nothing and nobody? Are you thinking they'll never amount to anything? Are you thinking they'll never go anywhere? Are you thinking they'll always be that drug addict, that alcoholic? What are you thinking today? When we judge others, Matthew 7:1 says, we will be judged too. So we have to be careful how we judging one another, what we thinking about one another, because it comes back. That seed that you planting in someone else's garden, you're going to see it in yours. And you're going to wonder, who planted that? You. You planted it. You watered it. In Matthew 7:2, we see that we will be judged the same way we judge others. So continue and see what sprouts up. The Amplified Bible says that in accordance with your standard of measure, what you felt like that I needed to be judged by, he said, well, okay. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. If you feel like it was good enough for her, then we can, I'm going to use it on you. If you felt like they deserved that measure of ridicule, being tore down, being lied on, character assassinated, okay, now you need to know how that feels. You need to know what that looked like. Judgment will be measured to you. For example, if you are very harsh and strict in judging others and cannot overlook even the slightest imperfection, you got some people that think they so perfect, they think they stuff do not stink. I don't know when they go in the bathroom, I don't know if they start spraying before they go. They can smell yours, but they breathing in theirs. I'm talking about, oh, what a refresh it is. Others will judge you as harshly. Somebody's going to come along and be that critical and be that harsh towards you. Why? Because that's what you dishing out. That's what you think you big enough to do. I believe that judging other people opened the doors for the devil, our enemy, to judge and accuse us. The devil is the accuser of God's people. When we criticize or judge them, we are saying that we see nothing wrong with criticism and judgment. The enemy takes advantage of that attitude and turns it back on us. When we feel like it's okay to judge someone, to criticize someone, is what you're really saying is, it's okay to judge me. It's okay to criticize me. I can take it. I'm tough. Do you know who I am? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words never hurt me. Not until they start speaking them. So be careful. Be careful. What you're saying about your brother and your sister, be careful. Be mindful. If you don't have anything good to say, don't say nothing at all. Because what come out of your mouth, what seed you plant in my garden, you will see in yours. You may say, well, Yolanda, hey, I got it going on over here. The seed's still been planted. And if you continue, it's going to start to grow. You're going to start seeing it in your life. You're going to start seeing it in your finance. You're going to start seeing it in your health. We all need to do our best to keep the doors of our lives closed to the enemy. Because when you think you hurting me, it backfires. You're hurting you. You're destroying you. You open the door to the enemy, to you, to attack you. One way to do it is to simply walk in love, give mercy, extend grace towards one another. Because when you extend mercy and grace and love towards others, that's what you will receive. That's what you'll get back. See, you're planting the seed of mercy and grace and love, and you're also planting that in your garden. And that's what you'll harvest. Refusing to criticize and judge them. Let me read that part again. One way to do it is to walk in love, mercy, and grace towards others. Refusing. If you're refusing to do something, that means it's a choice. You have a choice not to do it. Refuse to criticize and judge them. Just refuse to do it. Just say, well, you know, I feel this way. I feel this way. I feel they need to do this. I feel they need to go here. But you don't know their assignment. So now you're putting your mouth on something that you don't know what's going on. You don't know how God is moving. You don't know what God has spoken. So now you're misjudging. Now you're criticizing. Well, they in that situation because of this. They in that situation because they don't want to do that. That's just your opinion. And you're criticizing what you don't even know. You don't even know what you're talking about. So we have to be careful that we don't open the door to be judged, to be criticized, to be torn down, to be misjudged. We got to make sure that we keep the door closed. That door is our mouth. That door is our heart. That door is our thoughts. That's the door. The moment you get ready to put your mouth on somebody else, remember, that's a seed that's going to also go in your garden. So be careful. Be careful. And here's the prayer, and that's the end. Father, help me keep the judgment door to the enemy closed in my life by not criticizing or judging others. So if you ask that question when I gave you that title and you said, now how in the world do you do that? Let me read it again. Father, help me, help you, yes you, and us to keep the judgment door to the enemy closed in our life by not, here's how you do it, by not criticizing or judging others. That's how you do it. Extend love, extend mercy, extend grace, and refuse. I'm just not going to do it. I'm just not going to say it. I'm just not going to think it. I'm just not going to plan it. To criticize and judge someone else. Because what I'm learning and what God had to get me to understand, that no matter a person's relationship to you, we still have our own personal journey. I may be your mother. He may tell me to go right. He may tell you to go left. If he tell you to go left, go left. Because that's a part of your journey. I may be your mother. He may tell me to stand still and see his salvation. He may tell you to go up and pursue. But because I'm standing, you begin to judge my standing. You begin to criticize my obedience. You just open the door for a seed to be planted in your life. I never thought about it that way. God had to reveal that to me because there was a situation that I was facing, and I began to feel a certain way. And I'm like, Lord, but this just don't look right. I know people talking. I know I'm being judged. I know it looks off. Lord, how in the world, how's that going to look to the eyes of people? And that's when he said, journeys are different. It matters not the relationship. Your path is your path. Their path is their path. There's a reason I may send you out. And there's a reason why I got them covered, why I'm protecting them. I'm doing something within them. So I need them to be still because I don't want no contamination. I don't want any distraction. See, we start judging something that we don't understand because it's not the norm. And I beat myself up. I beat myself up because I heard the chatter. I heard the whispers. I seen the finger pointing. And I had to stand in the midst of it all. I had to keep going in the midst of it all. It didn't feel good. It didn't look good. But I had to keep going. Many days driving down that road, that highway, that interstate, with tears in my eyes saying, Lord, I just don't know how much longer. But he always gave me the confidence. You got this. You can handle this. My grace is efficient enough for you to endure this. Because I'm building something within you. I'm taking you somewhere. So you can't allow the outside voices to turn you from your destiny. You got places to go and people to see. This is your time. This is your moment. This is your season. Will you allow the non-voices to stop you, to hinder you, to distract you, to control you? Or will you continue to just go where I tell you to go? Do what I tell you to do. Move how I instruct you to move. And I made up in my mind that, Lord, let your will be done. It matters not what's said, what's done, what's spoken, the judgment, the criticism. I continue to move forward. I done had enough of distractions in my life. And God had to deliver me. He had to set me free. He had to show me that I'm the head, I'm not the tail. That I'm above and not beneath. That I'm the lender and not the borrower. And I'm grateful this morning. I've come a long way. And I'm not a finished product. I'm still a work in progress. And I try to be very careful about how I see things, perceive things, think about things, meditate on things. Because the moment I get ready to say something, God is saying, but it could be this way. Maybe it's not what you think. Maybe it didn't happen that way. Maybe it happened this way. See, he gives you alternative ways to look at things, situations, circumstance, people. And he says, what about this? What about that? Maybe it didn't happen that way. Maybe it didn't go down that way. Maybe I told him not to go. Maybe I told him to stand still. Maybe I told him to move in that direction. He's done a work in me, around me, for me. And I'm grateful this morning. I got to hop off. I pray that something was said that will cause you to examine yourself, that will cause you to pause and say, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to think that. I'm not going to call or text or FaceTime and include no one else in that. I'm better than that. I am my brother, my sister's keeper. What I plant in their seed, I'm also planting in my seed and in my garden. So the next time the devil make you feel that you're perfect, that you have made the mark, that you're on the right track, that you don't have any faults, you have vindicated yourself, your friends have vindicated you. So now you feel you are in position that you can look down and judge someone else. Remember, you will be judged the same way. And the measure in which you use to measure that individual, that same measure will be used towards you. So it's going to look very familiar. If you're nasty, that's your measure. Critical, that's your measure. So whatever measure you're using, that's what will be used against you. Remember to keep the judgment door closed. Not for me, but for you. Because when you open that door thinking it's for me, that's your door. Remember that person, that's your door. That co-worker, that's your door. That family member, that's your door. So with that being said, thanks for hopping on. Thanks for hanging in there. Thanks for sticking your head in the door. Thanks for coming all the way in the room. Thanks for coming. Thanks for stopping by. Once everything in and I close shop, I thank God for you. Speak life over your circumstance, your situation, your friends, your foes. Those that gave up on you, those that said that you would never amount to anything, those that said that you would never go anywhere, those that said you would always be a loser, you would always be that drug addict, that alcoholic. Speak life over them as well. What do you have to lose? But you have a lot to gain. And one way to gain is to keep that judgment door closed. Until next time, everyone have an amazing day. And I want to let you know before I go, starting next week, I'm taking a break. That is my plan, is to take a break. So I won't be live next week. I might still post the devotional. If you all would like, I could do that and maybe give like a little short input on it, what I think about the devotional. But I think I'm going to take a break. I think I just need some time to, sometimes you have to go and get a refill when you done poured out, when you done gave, and now you're running low in fuel. You have to go and fill up. So that is my plan for next week. Lord, say the same. Again, speak life over yourself. And watch what your portion, watch what your harvest will be. Until next time, have an amazing day and weekend. God bless.